Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to have a bit of a chit chat about the GYST plan, a little follow on from the Get Ready With Me that I just posted. Now, today is Saturday the 16th of May as I'm recording this. I'm hoping again to get this up. Oh, don't do that. That was, what did I just do? I did. Oh, that was silly. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But that was silly. But I'm hoping to get this up fairly quickly afterwards. So I'm going to keep it brief. I don't know if I'm going to be filming much other stuff today with my face, but I figured whilst I was having a wee chat with you, I would just slap some makeup on while we're at it. Oh my goodness, these clips are not working. I swear, they don't make these clips like they used to. They really don't. Now, so I figured I'd just slap on some makeup whilst I was chatting away with you about the GYST plan. I took some time this morning to actually write out my plan. I have it all here. This is the basic plan, and then I went on and expanded the plan. I gave a little flick through of this on my stories earlier today. There's 115 content ideas there, so that's minimum of 115 video ideas, but some of those content ideas can be expanded into multiple videos, which I'm super excited about the prospect of that. But all this kind of makes me glad that I didn't go ahead and make content earlier, because, you know, I wouldn't have had all of this brainwave. So what the GYST list, the GYST plan basically is getting life, not just my life back on track. So if you're new here, quick rundown. Basically, since COVID, I have been on and off with depression, a lot of anxiety, basically dealing with a lot of childhood traumas and things. Just gonna touch on it briefly if you're new. And over the last year, I've done a lot of internal work, a lot of personal development, and I'm ready to get back to where I was before I had children. If you go back and look at my channel, you'll notice a significant dip in my content that happened about COVID time. Just everything just fell off a cliff. I mean, it was, you know, floundering a little bit, but it fell off a cliff once COVID happened. Let's just be honest. So the GYST is, it stands for get your shit together, and I want to do that in all areas of life. And the areas that I noted down specifically were personal care, so like actually taking care of myself, making time for myself so I can do things like this, take up, you can't see my knitting, but take up my knitting. I actually made a video, it was one of my first videos back this year, speaking about how I wanted to get a hobby, and I have hobbies now. Hobbies are fun. It's nice to have them. I was actually watching Michaela McDade, I think her name is. She used to be known as the Diary of a Shopaholic. She just recently posted a video. I'm catching up on some of my subscriptions, so it was like earlier this week, or last week I should say, about how she spent like so much time crocheting and still managed to get everything done, which just goes to show that there is so much time that could be used effectively. It doesn't have to be like monetarily productive, but it could be used doing things. In fact, I remember, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I think it was Emily Post. She said something to the sentiment of, you know, there's no reason, basically saying that there's no reason to be bored, that there's always something that you can find to do. If I can find what that quote is, I will insert it. I will run it along the bottom of the screen. So yeah, back to what I put down on this list. I put down personal care. So that's the things like skincare, like actual physical hygiene, skincare, body care, hair care, that kind of thing. Making it a priority, a routine, because it can slip, especially when you do have fits of depression. Which leads us on to mental health. Actually taking care of my mental health regularly, keeping on top of it, having regular check-ins. And then personal space. So this room, my personal space. Yes, it's the Mr. Man's too, but I spend more time in it than he does because I am that person that needs to withdraw to recharge. This is just how I am. It's just how I am. I need a little bit of isolation to recharge. And then personal possessions, because as I mentioned, I have gotten to this point where I am ready to let go of stuff, like really let go of stuff. So there will be a lot of videos coming up about decluttering and get rid of things, and the process of coming to that stage and being able to make those decisions. Next on my list, I had home care because the house has gotten into a bit of a terrible state. There are sometimes you look around your house and just go, what the hell happened? Like things that you don't normally look at. Like right now, there is massive cobwebs right in that corner. Have I noticed them before? No, because I don't tend to look up there. I'm so sorry. Plus, it's like, it's hard to get up there and things. But just generally speaking, like we have problems with condensation in this house, which I've mentioned before, and it does sometimes lead to, particularly around the window, can lead to mildew buildup or mold buildup, particularly like in the window frame, like the window sill, in the wood, in this cupboard here that I despise. Mold grows in this house. We can't have things touching the wall because condensation will trap and mold will grow on the back of whatever is touching the wall. It's not I hate to say it, that it's not a cleanliness issue. Like you could clean that as often as you want to, but it'll come back. It's also the effort of having to move everything all the time. So we just don't have things pressed against the wall. So in my home care gist, obviously personal space is going to be within my personal care area. But I'm mostly going to be tackling like organizational things, kids' clothes, make sure everything's like away properly, put the, so what you'd call them, doom boxes, you know, like piles of clutter that just accumulate. We have several of such boxes in various places around the house. In fact, in the living room, there are 6 like small containers that are just full of random toys that need to just get put away, and they've just been like collecting. And then there's like a little desk, a little table that's supposed to be for the kids to eat at, but it's just covered in books, paper, coloring books. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting to all of that stuff, just biting the bullet and getting to it. And then from there we move on to the family care. And I wanted to sort of not like perfect routines, because we have routines, but also sometimes we're a bit lax on routines, and that can have a bit of a knock-on effect. And if you're, you know, like too lax, and then it gets more lax, and then next thing you know, the routine's out the window. So it's all about building and reinforcing routines and creating new routines. I also want to talk about streamline things like meal wise, because Nick and I were talking about how you know, we're running out of things. Like, Luna's a bit fussy about what she eats, and she has been ever since they introduced healthy eating in school as a topic. Honestly, I get the idea behind it, but also, like, when they're that impressionable and you're starting going on about what's good food, what's bad food, it puts them off absolutely freaking everything that they're eating. It makes it hard for us at home to provide food, because she won't eat anything. But yeah, we have like a routine of meals that we have, but us as adults, we do get a bit bored, and we like to reintroduce new foods. So we're gonna spice it up a bit to get that together. We're also working on encouraging responsibilities, things like people have certain jobs in the house, certain chores in the house, being more caring and kind and supportive of each other. Like, sometimes the younger children want the older children to do things for them. Like, they don't want me or dad to do it, they want Luna to do it. And basically, like, encouraging the older children to help them if the younger ones ask. Just like mutual respect kind of things, and learning to pick up after themselves better, and to you know, especially the older ones, to take responsibility for routine tasks, like knowing when they get up. Again, routines, but knowing that, you know, the school morning has these set tasks that need to be done, and you're responsible for making sure that you have had breakfast, that you have gotten dressed, that you have brushed your teeth. Like, I will check up, I will ask, and I will remind periodically, but also they're at an age now where they do need to start doing this off their own backs, because Luna's going into primary 6 after the summer, so, you know, she's not long until she's in secondary. Speaking of schooling, I also want to get going with some at-home educational support. Sorry, fiddling with the hair again. As we all know, we've had problems with the older children's education, or indeed lack of one. And we have purchased at-home resources to try and help them, but I will admit that I have not been as on that in the last while as I have been. So these resources are just sitting in a stack, not getting used, so they're no use to anyone. And every time, it's one of these silly things, every time the school say, oh yeah, they're making progress, yeah, we're on it, and then comes round to parents' night, and I get told the complete opposite. We're about to have another session of that. So I have plans to ramp up home education support, home emotional support, and over the summer I'm gonna run like a 6-week intensive with them, and, you know, just try and give them as much support as I can. Same with the younger ones. Like, one of the biggest mistakes I think I made, and I will talk about this more, was I was told not to provide any form of educational foundation at home before they go to school. I was told that it would mess with how they teach things in school, so it'd be best if I just didn't. So I didn't. So my kids went to school not knowing anything, really. They were completely blank slates. I mean, obviously they knew some things like your colors, your shapes, your numbers, but yeah, anything beyond that I didn't actively teach. Whereas I was so prepared for going into primary one that I was able to read and write and everything when I finished primary one. I don't know if those two things have are interrelated, but I'm not letting that happen to the younger two. So we're getting in there early and giving them some educational support over the summer as well, because little Rosie, she starts primary one after the summer too. And then wee Mikey, he's away to nursery as well. Oh, it's all exciting. It's all systems go. And then we'll have our newest addition, home with me. So, yes. It's going to be a busy house. And the last category I have written down is finances. I want to get that all sorted and up to standard. I want to go over our budget and where money is going and cut back things that are not necessary. And the other area I'll be looking into is debt. Give that another going over. I haven't updated you guys about my debt journey for a number of years now. I think it may have been like 4 or 5 years now since I've done an update on where I am debt wise. Much different place, much different landscape now. The makeup of my debt is completely different. But we'll talk about that in future videos, and I want to strategize how to minimize that and how to build up my credit score and get all of that sorted, because things are happening. Like, credit, when you're in my financial situation, is kind of a necessary evil. It allows you to pay for certain things that you couldn't otherwise. Like, if I needed to buy a new fridge freezer, like, I'm gonna need credit because it's gonna be extortion. I remember before we moved here, when I was looking to replace the oven that broke during COVID in the old flat, I was looking to get that replaced, and it was going to cost me about £450 for the oven to get it delivered, to get the old one unwired, removed, and get the new one wired in. Was going to cost me £450, and that was for the cheapest oven that they had. So, and at that time I had no credit rating whatsoever. Like, no one would touch me with freaking barge pole, so there was no way of us getting a new oven. And there's no way of us getting an oven now because there's just literally no space for one. If you know, you know. And then lastly, actually, you know what I've just talked about kind of goes into that. I have a category for needs, wants, and replacements, because there are things that we need and there are things that we have but could do with being replaced. And also, like, it's okay to want things, and managing those wants and facilitating and accommodating those wants within reason. Because, you know, you need a bit of happiness in life. You need a bit of happiness. And, yeah. But the last one is income strategy, because to be perfectly honest with you, I will probably talk about the benefits cap and the two-child limit being lifted. I will say that before we found out we were pregnant, before that was even announced, we had budgeted for having 5 children within that. So I honestly think they could have just raised that cap to like a 4-child limit, and you could have quite happily raised like 8 kids and still been perfectly fine. I have feelings and views and opinions on financial prioritization, which I'll go into, but yes, with the removal of the 2-child limit, what that has done is, and with the increase in minimum wage every freaking year, you know, that does not help either. But what that has done is made it harder to get off of benefits, because now, yes, you're getting more within the confines of the benefits cap, but you now have a higher, like, easiest way to describe this, the rate at the point at which you are no longer eligible for benefits and the point at which you are earning enough to replace everything you were receiving whilst on benefits has now gotten wider. Okay, that's what this has done. That's what lifting the 2-child limit has done. It's made the gap between no longer being entitled to benefits and being able to actually function off of benefits wider. It really, like, I'm not going to dwell too much on this, but it really gets my goat when people were absolutely raging about lazy unemployed people on universal credit, and it's like, it's not like that at all. It really isn't. Most of the people on universal credit are actually employed, and they're just, you know, they're working families who, like, the mum of the house maybe can't either can't afford childcare, so doesn't work, which is what happens in our house. Nick is to stay at home because even both of us working, like, we wouldn't be able to afford childcare. It's also a very disrespectful take for single parent families, where the only form of employment they can get is within the confines of school hours, which greatly limits your earning potential, because you may only be able to work 20 hours a week if you're lucky. So the income strategy will be looking at creating new forms of income that will get past the limitations of minimum wage work. It is personally irritating, because 3 years ago I was on a good wage, and then I went on maternity leave and I came back and had to have my wage increased to meet minimum wage. I had tried so hard. I had gotten myself into a good position. I had gotten a good dose of hours, and it's out of your hands. It's out of your hands. Doesn't make it any less irritating, but there you go. So that is what the income strategy is going to be. And I'm going to be doing all of this over, well, all of the physically laborious parts of it I'm going to be doing over the next wee while, because, you know, I'm on leave at the moment, so I'm basically going to be gutting the house and filming at the same time. Oh, I maybe loaded a bit too much on here. So I'm going to be gutting the house over the next few days. So you're going to be seeing the footage over a stretch of time, but it's all been done. So you will probably be shocked by the by what you see in the footage, because the state of my house at the moment is a state. It really is. It looks like a bomb hit it. And yeah, it just is what it is. You know, when you're in that stage of I mean, obviously it got a bit behind when everyone was ill with the cryptosporidium thing. But you know, when you're at that point of tidying and it looks worse than when you started, it's at that point. It makes you question everything. So you will be seeing my very messy house. Oh my goodness, this computer. I'm trying to put it to sleep so you don't hear it humming whilst I'm recording. But I tapped the keys and keep waking up. Silly me. But yeah, so you will be seeing my very messy house for a while, but please be understanding that it won't be messy that entire time. It will have been cleaned. So if you're seeing like messy home videos at the end of June, it's been cleaned. It's been cleaned. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting cracking with this. I'm actually about to well, I have the previous footage that I'd filmed, some Project Pan intros and a decluttering my bathroom filmed. So those videos are going to be going up this week for your viewing pleasure. And whilst you're enjoying those videos, I'll be recording the rest of the content that I'll be putting up for the rest of May and into June. But tonight I'm going to be tonight I'll be editing those things and recording a whole bunch of other stuff. Starting with a makeup declutter. Because I want to get rid of a few things and run through and check that everything's okay. And I'm getting mascara everywhere. This is terrible. Terrible. But yeah, we'll be doing a run through of the makeup. I'm gonna go deep into the lipsticks and things and the lip you know, like my lip creams, and actually deciding, like, find out if everything is good, if I even like it. So those will be very interesting videos to share with you. So as I said, I have 115 content ideas written out from this morning, but it's probably gonna expand anywhere up to 200 videos, depending on how things break down, which is very exciting. So yeah, even just this isn't even touching all of the other things that I wanted to talk about in well, the other things I was I'm wrapping myself up in word ribbons here. This isn't even touching the topics that I had said I was going to talk about in the Get Ready With Me that I just posted. That's what I'm trying to say. So I've got all of this content to make, plus all of the other content that I wanted to make. And yeah, I have content that's going to be coming out the wazoo for the rest of the gosh darn year. And yeah, it's going to be a journey. And there's going to be a lot of personal development stuff thrown in there. I might do some vlogs, so I'll definitely be a lot more Get Ready With Me, chit-chatty, some cleaning videos with some voiceovers and such. Try and get some decent clips. But yeah, I'm super excited to get back to it and start producing content again at a more regular basis. As part of my income strategy, I will be looking into potentially getting some sponsorships and things. So you might see some sponsored content or videos that are sponsored by things. But obviously I won't be pursuing that until a little bit way down the line, so that, you know, I clearly have what's the word I'm thinking of? So that I can share a consistent, so I can share that my platform is currently active and my content is uploading at a consistent level. So yeah, fingers crossed that the outcome of this is that I don't have to go back to work at the end of this. Obviously, I will also have my writing going on in the sidelines as well, and If I can get my watch hours up, I will get my AdSense back on this channel, which would be awesome. And yeah, it'll be great. Finally getting things out that I've been wanting to get out for ages, getting on top of things in the house that I wanted to do for ages, and yeah, just doing things. Just doing things. That's what's making me excited. Being able to just think, process, do. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sitting through this not get ready with me about my GYST plan, and enjoy the videos coming up this week. They are a bit older. They are from like the end of April, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all still relevant. It all still applies. I'm sure you'll either be entertained or horrified by my bathroom declutter. And I still need to finish that. So that video is going to come soon. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.